Hello everyone, I'm Bruffy1322 and welcome to the 23rd episode of the Chalky Hazard podcast with my co-host Sugar-Free Nos over that side, RDT down there, and our guest this week in this corner. He's actually got his camera live for you guys who watch this on Twitch. Sonny Evans, the creator of the GTA Geographic series. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Awesome.
we go, but we'll get into this, aggressive. But we go way back. Me and Sonny Evans, we've done all sorts of things in the past. We've been around the GTA YouTuber scene for quite a while, but you've had some recent successes with your GTA Geographic series. We'll talk about that. And yeah, we got a lot of interesting things we can cover in this podcast, but. Obviously, as you guys have probably seen, I'm in a new room. For those who don't frequent my streams and only watch these podcasts, I am in a new room. So all three of us,
the same. It looks exactly the same as the last one.
This is what everybody else said.
Let me pull up the stream real quick. Let me give you a gander.
So yeah, we're all three of us are now in different locations to what we were when we first started this podcast. When did we? It's coming up to a year now, right? Since we started,
we got a few more months.
You think?
Until a year comes around, yeah.
Wasn't it?
Because I think it was just around my graduation was when we really started kicking up into it, and that's.
Was it really? I thought it was like April.
Episode? Well, we've got to do research now. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious now how long it's been. I'm sure it was April time, or was April when we said it was going to start and it didn't actually?
Okay.
Because
I think so, yeah.
We're late with everything.
Okay.
Maybe.
I don't know. Well, that's why.
The first episode was posted on April 24th of 2017. So
See,
no,
there we go. April. It's coming around soon.
Oh, it's like that's 3 more months or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
2 more months.
So just so everybody is prepared for this, Apple Juice Minute, RDT's Apple Juice Minute regular segment is going to be at the very, very end of the podcast rather than when we do the regular segments. So keep watching till the end if you want to see that, or skip to the end, which I imagine most people do anyway.
No, don't tell him to do that.
Most people just skip to where his segment is anyway, I'm sure. All right, so Sonny Evans, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you doing with the whole YouTubing? How's it been the last few months or so?
But pretty crazy, to be fair. Really crazy, because as you may or may not have known, I've been a part of 8-Bit Bassett for a long time, and I think I decided to leave like half a year ago and decided to go solo and create content myself. And it was really hard, like, to start off with. It was really tough to get into the swing of things again after leaving. And now with GTA Geographic and seeing that stuff explode, it's really, really insane. It's so cool.
It's really impressive to see your growth. Like I never had growth like that, and it seems to me there's a few channels pop up every now and again in the GTA community that just get a bit of like exposure and get spread around, and then you get this incredible growth. We were talking to Mikey a few weeks ago, and he's had that same thing from Central Gaming Hub where it exploded in the course of like a month or two, and you've had the same and it's good to see because your content has definitely deserved it. We've been definitely enjoying the GTA Geographic series. If anyone hasn't seen it who's watching this, I'll obviously put all the necessary links down below in the description and for those in the chat. It's there on Twitch. But I recently just watched before this the Racer episode because I'd been told to watch it, and I figured I would watch it live on stream, but I never got around to doing it because of the house move. So I watched it just before we started this, and interesting. I'm interested how you found that picture of me with the beard.
Yeah, that picture with you, that was amazing.
I googled it. Actually, I googled it. It was the first thing that popped up. It was like, oh yeah, I'm using that.
Oh my god, I'm done. It was really good stuff. Like, is that something that you've wanted to do for a while, that series, or is it something that you just had an idea at one time and you decided to go with it and it got a lot of success and you went and did more, or how was the process of creating that series?
I think the initial idea came around 2 or 3 years ago. No, 2 years ago.
Wow.
And I didn't do anything with it back in the day because Abe Basta did those documentaries, right, on actual nature documentaries, very, very, very similar in a way. But and I had this idea back in the day for we should do this on players. But back then, that player base was not as in depth as it is right now. Like you didn't really have tryhards were not really a big, huge thing. They came over time with all the implementations that the game had, and like. I think around 3 or 4 months ago, I had a call with Dirty Workout, which you may or may not know.
I do know. I follow him on Twitter. Good person.
He's a good person, yeah. And he has this profound hatred towards tryhards. It's like horrible.
Yeah.
He hates them. He hates the guts. So, and he was like, "Yo, son, you should really make this documentary sort of style thing on the tryhard." So, and then that entire initial idea came back to mind, and well. The Triad episode happened, and that got a lot of views. And I said, well, let's do an episode on everything that we can possibly think of in GTA Online. So, yeah, that's kind of how it all started. And it's still rolling right now.
So you just did the last episode of the first series, right? A few days ago, is that right? Mm-hmm. How are you? Because I imagine there's only a certain amount of things that you can cover. But how far are you through the amount of people that you can make videos on? And do you still have lots of different ideas for a full second season?
I got ideas plenty. Like as for different players, like of course we're pretty much at the roof. We did all the cool stuff we have done, like the racer and whatnot. Those are the tryhards and griefers and noobs are really interesting things. And the rest are just like little side communities. Like I'm hearing people talk about, what was that one? A freaking... easy way out Hydra tryhard sort of thing. I'm like, I'm not gonna,
okay.
What?
That's just
like
a
subgenre.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All the subjects. So I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do those. So there's only like a handful, like 4 or 5 left, really. And after that, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really struggling. Like I really want the show to stop at some point, but a lot of people still want it to continue. That's the annoying thing. Like for all I care, it was done right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's always the thing, isn't it? When you start something like that and it's really successful and people like it, but you had an idea that it was going to just be a set thing. And then it's like, how do you continue that? It's tricky.
Yeah. You can't stretch it out either. Like, I don't want that. Like, I don't want a series like that to just die out and bleed out over time. That's even worse. Like, if your entire viewer base decides, this is not as good as it was once before, and they just trickle off. Like, aka The Walking Dead, like a prime example. Walking Dead, the series. Nobody's really interested in anymore.
What I was thinking when you said that you know when it's going to end, I immediately thought of Breaking Bad and how they knew they didn't want to jump the shark and go on for 12 seasons and eventually be like, Jesse, you're 45. We still need to cook. I'm dead. Come on. They were like, all right, this is done. This is where we're ending. So,
before you say anything, I haven't finished watching Breaking Bad, so no spoilers.
Well, they're not 45. But, that's spoiler number 1. So
it's funny. I haven't really been enjoying Breaking Bad as much as people have made it out to be.
Oh my god!
That's kind of trigger warning.
I know, but I got to be honest. Like, it's been okay, but I haven't.
How far
felt,
into it are you?
Midway through the 3rd season, I think.
But
up. Yeah, it's just not pulling me in as much as what people have been saying how good it is in that way. But anyway, that's a tangent that we don't need to talk about because it would just trigger so many people.
It's
too late now, isn't it? So, what's your whole process when it comes to making those videos? When you start out, the Machinima in general, because that's something that you've generally done for quite a while. Obviously, you made a video for Rockstar at one point as well. I can't remember what that was relating to. What was that again?
It was for the PC release.
The PC release, yeah. Of
course. So they the PC release back in the day had the Rockstar editor for the first time, and back then I was with AB Bastard, so Rockstar hooked us up with Prime, Prime positioning to create that video. It was really, really dope. it was really
What do
cool.
you mean by that? What is prime position?
I can't say a whole lot about it because I'm still in the NDA.
Classic Rockstar NDA.
I can't go in there. I had the Rockstar ninjas knocking at the door a few
That's
times.
perfectly fine. I sense that you were being like.
I've been watching. Got cameras around the island.
Guys in black suits are just going to drag him away during this.
Can we do it like as a we'll say a scenario and you can go, I cannot confirm or deny that, but I do not necessarily deny it.
just blink if anything.
Yeah.
So the bottom line is they gave us access to the PC version and we got to create the first trailer for the Rockstar editor. That's it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it turned out well, and you've been known since then really for doing, good Machinima style stuff in the Rockstar editor and having a good grasp on it. So I kind of want to get into a little bit of how you do that and your process behind making those videos with that. But before you did all of that, you used to do custom job showcases and things along those lines in the early days.
Hell yeah.
I remember when
Boondock Grand Prix was on there. All I know is that Boondock Grand Prix was there.
That's his track, by the way. For anyone who doesn't go back that far,
greatest track of all time.
This is a long way back we're talking now. But we did a dual commentary at one point, and this is like 4 years ago now.
Man, remember when dual comms were relevant?
Yeah,
I know. If anybody's interested in going back and looking at them, don't, because it'll be cringy as hell.
it's quite bad.
But it's been quite the journey, I guess, from back then. Just both of us being pretty tiny YouTubers, not really just making videos for the fun of it because we like GTA, and it's turning into what it is now.
Yeah.
But yeah, talk us through your whole process with creating these videos, the GTA Geographic stuff, the things you use the Rockstar editor for.
What's a machinima anyway? I always hear people saying that stuff, and I have no idea what it is. I know the company Machinima, but
it's basically a cinematic movie or whatever video made in a game. So more movies made in games. It's basically Machinima.
Yeah. All right.
So that's kind of what I do with GTA Geographic. But the process is quite easy, and it's a matter of fact probably the easiest stuff I've done in a while, the entire GTA Geographic series. Because I get in the comments of my videos, I get a lot of praise for the amount of effort it takes to make those videos. But essentially, it takes from writing until uploading, it takes roughly, I think, 2-3 hours tops. So,
wow, that's shorter than I expected.
Yeah, but if you really look at what it actually is, it's just mostly 3 or 4 scenes and a lot of narrative, right? And the narrative, it's just a matter of me writing the videos and then sending them over to my friend Dave, which you know as well, by the way. I think back in the day, back in the day, I recognized the voice when I first started watching. He's still around. So I write, I send the lines over to him, and then I just start editing, and within like 2-3 hours the videos is online. It's really, really easy.
So do you think that's more because you've got a mastery on the Rockstar editor and it's easy for you to get the clips that you want from that, and a lot has gone into learning how to do that, or do you just think it is generally doesn't take too long to get what you need?
I guess it's a combination of knowing, I think, mostly what to do exactly to get certain things to work. It's knowing what to do. It's not per se knowledge of the Rockstar editor, but so it's really easy, and it's so funny though. Like when people praise you for like effort and whatnot, for making something look a little bit more flashy, while essentially your content is just slightly better than the majority of the GTA YouTubers out there. Like you always. You got it. Like if you want to become a GTA YouTuber, just do ever so slightly better than Mr. Bass for the win, and you're golden.
Oh, dropping names.
No. We don't mention names.
Oh,
that's all good.
Leave it out.
It puts it into perspective because my MCC videos, which aren't returning by the way, but they take upwards of 10 hours for each episode. At least the more in-depth ones for the first 2 episodes of that season. So I assumed that the Rockstar editor making these in-depth videos for that sort of thing would take the same, if not more, amount of time. It's interesting to hear you say it's only a couple or a few hours each time. But
it's really depending on what it is as well. Because last night I uploaded that last video. That was a whole different story because I had to get all custom animations in there and whatnot and make characters do certain things. And that took altogether, I think, 22 hours in total for 10 minutes. So that's something different. But the normal things you see on the racer, for instance, that's easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, when you know the tool so well, that's an interesting perspective that it doesn't take very long. Because I don't know if you happen to have watched his content, but J57F, by any chance, if you've watched his videos before?
I have not.
Well, I highly recommend his content. But anyway, he works on the 5M server staff that we're on, and he makes Machinimas, and he mainly does like the cool cinematic videos synced up with music and looking really good. And he was on the 5M server for one day, and then 3 days later, there's the sickest hype video I've ever seen. That he made with just a few, all we did, the clip was just myself and a friend driving out of a garage in 2 vehicles, and he made that whole thing into a sick as hell video. So
yeah,
I mean,
there's a lot of beauty.
Yeah, when you know the tool,
there's a lot of beauty in simplicity. Someone could take a picture of their spaghetti and meatballs, put a black and white filter on it, and get 10,000 likes on Instagram. It's how you use the tools. It's not necessarily the tools, because I could have a $10,000 computer set up and my streams would still be trash compared to everyone else's. So it's like you got to be able to use what you have, and you apparently have perfected what you have available to you.
Yeah, and besides all of that, you must not forget that GTA is absolutely it's a gorgeous game, even from up close, and the amount of detail that you can get with the Rockstar editor when you get really close on certain things it's insane. It's insane. You can say about the game what you like, and a lot of people don't like what it has become, but it's still an amazingly good looking game. Even from up close.
True. You can't fault the people who have developed the game itself and the assets that go in the game.
No.
There are some very talented people who work on the game. I've always said this when it comes to, even when we get annoyed at new cars coming out where they're in a wrong class or they're overpriced or something like that, if you take those decisions away and assume that those decisions were on somebody else, and you look at the cars and you look at some things, the way that they're balanced and all this kind of stuff, they're actually very, very well done in certain areas, and you can say that one car, if it had just been put in this class, it would be perfectly balanced. So the people who are actually programming these things, creating these things, they are talented people. It's the people who want to take your money from you who are the worst, but we won't talk about that because we talk about that too much.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was interesting that you spoke about GTA YouTubers and how to be better than big GTA YouTubers, and name dropping a certain GTA YouTuber that we never mentioned, but because I wanted to ask your opinion on that, because you've spoken to Mr. Boss on your own podcast a while ago, and you're quite friendly with him, right?
Yeah.
And just your opinion of these bigger GTA YouTubers. Everybody has their own opinions, and I have mine that I think a lot of people would assume that mine is harsher than what it is, but I generally just don't talk about it. But I'm interested to use this time that we have with you to get your opinions on, bigger GTA YouTubers in general.
It's kind of tricky. Like, what is a bigger GTA YouTuber at the moment? Because the only one who's really massive, that is Mr. Boss for the win.
That Saints fan, I guess.
That's exactly. I'm not too familiar with him though. I don't know what he does, but I think he does pretty harmless content. Like he's just up there, except for that GTA Man fiasco a while back.
I don't even know about that. I can't remember.
Not point four, is that his name?
Not point four live.
Well, that's another one. He's also he's pretty harmless. He does some clickbaiting, but I bottom line is I don't care. I used to care, but now I don't care anymore. I decide to get away from all of that because it's all the negativity around it, and it's so annoying. But But about like Mr. Boss, the only thing I'm really annoyed by about bigger GTA YouTubers, and then especially Mr. Boss for the win, and the only reason I'm name dropping is because these are things I say to his face as well. Like, let's make that damn clear. Is that he's such a businessman. This guy, like, he's not a bad person at all. He's a really nice guy. He's a kind person, and he's pretty good at PUBG as well. By the way, that's something that stood out to me.
Ooh,
but
random fact there.
Yeah, random fact there. Random fact. But they're always very like business minded with certain things, and especially with taking inspiration and very liberal inspiration. Because I think like he's taking some YouTuber has taken some stuff from you as well, Brothy, with the spreadsheets and the information on the cars, hasn't they?
No one's ever done that to me. No, they're all much too good for that. No way.
Well, precisely, and that's my issue. Like, they're so liberal, and they think they're in their right all the time, which technically they are, but it's just a scumbag thing to do. And I wish they would stop doing that. That's it. I wish they'd stop doing that bullshit and just be normal human beings like the rest of us, instead of looking at YouTube as a goddamn business.
Yeah, my thoughts have always been just not talking about it enough. I don't want to talk about it. Any time I spend talking about any other YouTuber is time's taken away from creating my own content. So I'd rather put that energy and focus into my content. And a lot of people like to hate on these big YouTubers, but if you don't like their stuff, all you've got to do is stop watching. Anytime that you're, putting information out there or talking about them, you're just giving them more attention. You're doing the opposite of what you want to achieve. So, I don't like talking about them. I still get pissed off when I see things taken, from my testing and credit not given and things like that. But like you say, technically, they're not in the wrong. Who owns information? I don't own it. I've put it out there. I don't own that information anymore. So, it's one of those tricky things. Like you say, I agree that they do seem very much more business minded than community or creativity minded. They don't see their videos as a creative outlet. They see it as a business outlet. And when you change your mindset in that way and you look at what they do, then you think, well, I would probably do the same. It's just what you value from YouTube as to what you want to watch. So I don't know. I don't know what you two think.
I would agree with that. I mean, that you are right. It's a difference between treating it as a creative outlet for yourself and a passion and a business. And I mean, the idea with a business is the most amount of gain for the least amount of effort. And I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that they do not put any effort into their content, but there is a definite deficiency of effort when it's just a clip of you driving around and reading the Newswire post to me for 10 minutes. That there's definitely not the effort there. But the thing is, like, Mr. Boss for the win, he could get these cinematic shots. He could go full Mikey. He could use the Rockstar editor in all these different ways and make this video the best thing you've ever seen, and the same amount of people would still watch it. So why would he do that? What is his motivation? There is none. So that is why people like him make the content that he makes, is because that is the idea. The least amount of effort for the most amount of gain. And I can't fault someone for that. I mean, as someone who puts as little effort into everything as possible, I can certainly not fault anyone for doing that. That's my opinion.
I can't be mad at somebody who has a following that obviously enjoys the content that he's making. You can't fault the guy for doing something that isn't broken. It's like I hate to compare them because I think they're completely different content creators, and everyone knows the Logan Paul situation. That's what I'm going for. But Logan Paul had that big scandal, and he still has his followers, and you can fault him for that because that was a terrible lapse of judgment. But his fans will still watch him, and no matter how much effort Mr. Boss or Fernando, who's not around anymore, or Dat Saints fan, you can insert big GTA YouTuber here. The content that they produce is content that is popular, and they're going to keep doing that if they're going to keep making money. I would like if they credited their sources a little bit better, similar to how CGH does. but it's working for him, and I can't really knock the hustle, as they say in the streets.
Yeah, you can fault them for the way that they do things, but you can't fault them for the results that they get ultimately.
Yeah, well, you can critique the content. You can say you could put more effort into this. You could make this better, or or I know where you got this information. You got this information from Bruffy1322 spreadsheet, and you did not credit him. Mm-hmm. You did not get the exact same lap time around the exact same circuit that he did. Or whatever. You can critique them for that, and for the first topic, I don't think you should ever really dislike a person personally, like for that. But once you step into taking your friends, information without credit and everything like that, then you can start to step into the realm of disliking a person for the content that they make. But even then, it's not big enough for me to say, I hate this, I hate this guy because he did this, he's a terrible guy.
Yeah.
It's not enough.
Bad, children.
It's bad, but it's not worth hating a man over.
Yeah, so it's not worth.
It's not worth complaining about him everywhere you go on the internet.
Yeah,
that's it.
And I always feel that when these things happen, there's enough people complaining on my behalf that I don't need to do it. Yeah. It's like I've got so many people who have my back that I can just I don't need to actively think about it myself, and I can just focus on my own stuff. But
well, Oleg does bring up a time like in the recent past, Mr. Boss for the Win has been a lot better with credit. Like you can speak to that, can't you?
Well, bro? It's not even just recent; it's actually past. With him specifically, it's gone up and down. There's been times where he's given me no credit at all, and there's been times when he's given me a lot of credit. The best way to do it has always been the way that Mikey does it with Central Gaming Hub, and the way that Shaggy used to do it, where you're not actually giving the information. So you're not saying the lap time is this and it gets this around the track. You say the information has been got by Bruffy, go to his video, there's the information there, rather than just relaying the message. But for what he does, recently he has been giving credit. It's more than other people have done, and I've always said that Mr. Boss for the Win has never been one of the worst people who's ripped me off by far.
He's the biggest, and he's the one people jump to because he is the biggest.
But there's been much worse, Yes, but there are. I'm not saying that there haven't been times where he hasn't done anything, but he's been better than most. So that's why I never talk about people specifically in that way anyway, because people get the wrong end of the stick, like Oleg has in the chat, thinking that I'm going at him for not giving credit, which I never said. So
that was me. I said that.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad. But yeah, it goes up and down, and it's just too much wasted effort for me to focus on stuff like that. If I spend hours and hours chasing down somebody to give me a little bit of credit, that's hours and hours that I could be spending making more stuff for the people who actually want to watch my stuff. So that's the way I think about it. Just someone in the chat mentioned earlier about the clickbait and thumbnails show up in suggestions, and you don't want to see all that. You can actually just ignore people completely. You can block them on YouTube. So if you went to any channel and decided to block it, then you don't see anything that they upload. It's not just a one-way thing with blocking. It's not just a channel can block you if you're leaving stupid comments. You can block channels that upload as well. And then in suggestions, recommended, anything like that, you just don't see it. It's as if they don't exist. So that's my recommendation. If there's people that you don't like on YouTube and you're sick of seeing their videos pop up in suggestions, or you just don't want to support someone for what they do, just block it, and then you don't even have to worry about it or think about it. Whether
so
it
I can
works
just
or
block
not is
you, and then I'll never have to watch
just block me everywhere, and then that's it. The only time you'll ever have to listen to me is this podcast, but you can mute me if you want. So
that's true. Very one-sided conversation.
Yeah, this is where everyone starts blocking me. I shouldn't have mentioned it. All right. So what does the future hold for Sonny Evans?
I have no idea. I think I'm gonna have to. I made that video, right, the last one of that season, and
the last one was the evolution, right? That was the That was the last one. Excellent video, by the way.
9,000 something.
Yeah, I was just about to check up on that if I need to get back to it. Yep, I need to get back to work. 10,010 likes, damn it. So that's the future there.
Good job.
Continuing a profitable series. Well, I actually don't know if it's monetized or not with YouTube's thing.
No.
A popular series, I should say.
Oh, is all of your videos actually demonetized?
Yeah, they all get pinged off really quickly. So
Wow.
That's why you have your fantastic sponsors. That's why.
Yeah,
why you do that.
When you do a manual review, does it get continued to be demonetized? Do they
no. It gets reinstated, but it takes like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, at that point, there's no point.
There's no point.
Yeah,
Like it might as
you've
well
lost everything. Yeah, that's the terrible part of it. We're gonna have a discussion about this at some point, I'm sure, on some podcast. We're gonna lay into YouTube and the stupid things that they do, but. Yeah, it's very annoying. It's pretty bad, to be honest, that's the case, that you put out like all this effort, or at least some effort, as you've said, into these videos, and people like them, and you get very little for it, monetary wise.
Yeah, I'm lucky to have like sponsors on YouTube now, like at least get something there. Like it's of course you get some money at the end of the month, but like January ad revenue is horrible. Plus every video getting pinged up for the first day. That means whenever a video gets like in the end after a week 50,000 views, then at least 40,000 are unmonetized. So yeah, it's freaking fantastic.
Yeah,
good stuff.
Like 80% of your earnings are cut falsely because a bot decided that it wasn't right and then it was actually wrong.
Well, that's the worst. Don't play Murder Hooker Rape Simulator 2013, and maybe. You need to play something more PG.
Viva Pinata.
Minecraft. Guaranteed the rant about YouTube will be one of the only monetized podcasts, probably. Every single podcast gets demonetized.
Really?
Pretty much.
What?
How could it not?
What do you mean? How could it not? We're not that bad.
I don't know about that. Well, to be fair,
I cut down the swearing. We don't talk about anything too bad.
To be fair, it does always get reinstated. Like I've never had a demonetization get reviewed and be upheld. That's just not something that's ever happened. That's why the whole system is stupid.
Yeah, shouldn't that automatically approve your videos?
Yeah, you would have thought so. I actually asked someone at YouTube, because I recently had a chat with someone at YouTube, and I asked them about, is there not a whitelist or something like that, or because you've had every single time you've been demonetized, it's been reinstated with no issue. Does that not give you like a bit of leeway or something? And it's just nope. It's all automated. That's just how it is. It's so bad.
That's remarkable.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Oh.
That's why I'm on Twitch. YouTube is terrible.
Yeah.
There's just no alternative for YouTube at the moment.
There is.
That's the problem. Twitch are trying to move in that space though. They've got
their premieres.
I don't know.
I don't see it happening. I don't go to Twitch for videos ever. Like YouTube is a place for videos at the moment, simple. And Twitch is a place for streams, vice versa. I don't like YouTube gaming. Is not really interesting either.
Yeah. And we're so close to the issue. Like we know the problems, and there are millions more people that just go on YouTube to watch cat videos than care about the problems that actually happen in YouTube. So
yeah, it's going to be, I mean, Twitch does have the backing of Amazon, so you never know what they're going to do in the future, but anything that they do to even try to compete with YouTube in a video uploading space is going to take years and years and years of just grinding all the time to try and even eke a little bit out of the share that they have. YouTube is just so big, there's no alternative at the minute. And that's just why we have to put up with whatever they decide they want to do.
Monopolies! Yay!
Aren't they great?
That's the internet.
There's always Vimeo.
Oh god, people have tried to be fair to make different alternatives, and it's never worked out.
Let's bring back E-Bombs World. I want to do that.
Oh my god,
go far back now. So this is like the official announcement, right? That you're going to have to continue the GTA Geographic series. The first time you've even noticed that you got over 10,000 likes on that video. So this is...
Yeah, it's pretty damn cool. But yeah, I don't know what to do.
You don't know. The problem you have now is figuring out which people to do it on.
Yeah, I said we're gonna take a break anyway because it's not healthy to like dive right back into it.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
I uploaded a video yesterday, so I'm gonna give it like another 2 weeks or so, and just pick up the ordinary commentary videos again because it's been quite a while since I've done one of those, and just talk about the current state of GTA. I saw this really interesting freaking article by Kotaku about all the. I gotta look it up real quick. I think it was about all the adversary modes and how, like, it's not to rant on GTA 5 at all, right? But it's showing how dead certain game modes are.
Yeah, that's something that I've always said about adversary modes. They're a joke. Like, they're popular for the first week that they get released, and then everybody forgets about them. And if you try to play them, you'd never get never matchmake with anybody. I didn't know there was an article on it though.
Yeah, it was released yesterday.
I've put it in the chat if you want to have a look, bro.
Okay.
What's it got?
GTA Online is full of abandoned mods.
Yeah,
I mean it is. This is true.
So I was going to make a video on that, but it's really, really interesting about... he's just trying to start a game mode of Tiny Races, that fantastic game mode.
Oh, I hate it so much. Oh, God.
I thought it was going to be right up your alley there.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I think we said this quite a while ago when they released the Relay Race adversary mode. And... we were like, why isn't this a feature in races? Why is this an adversary mode? An 8-person race where you can, where you're in a relay format, so one person goes, the others wait at the start line, and then you get round a lap, and it's like a team thing. And it was just so useless. We played it 1 or 2 times, had a bit of fun because it was something new, and it was involved with racing, but then it would have got a lot more life out of it had it been a feature in the race jobs. And it feels like they've totally forgotten and moved away from jobs themselves, death matches, races, whatever, and it's now all adversary modes, but they just get forgotten about. Like, what's the point? We could go on for hours about the problems GTA has, I suppose, but it's frustrating. It's frustrating more than anything that the game is still so popular and relevant, and it's always had such huge potential to be, a fantastic experience, but the decisions that they make seem to systematically ruin it.
We're going down that road again. Oh no!
We do every single episode.
Oh no! Hey guys, did you know GTA Online's a bad game?
But then again, right? How the game is from 2013, right?
Yeah.
We're still making content in it and about it and whatnot, so they must have done something right.
Yeah, right? It's still making more money than it ever has as well. So,
well, besides all the money and stuff, we're still in it. We're still playing it and enjoying it until a certain degree, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Huh? I don't know. I don't play it anymore, so I don't know. But let's see. I see a lot of people. I see GTA Man's.
Oh, people, yeah.
People.
GTA Man's insane. Don't even talk about him. I don't know how he can enjoy the game at this point. He's got like 14,000 hours in the game, and all of it's PvP. I don't get it.
He kind of messed himself over with the name GTA Man there. So that's all else he can do.
Yeah, he's locked in.
All right. So, should we move? I think we're about ready. We finished about on the topic. So, does anybody else have anything to bring up before we move on to our regular segments?
Oh, we're moving on to our regular segments already.
Already?
Yeah,
Whoa,
I mean,
I figured we would talk about...
it's the clock. I forgot my watch.
I don't know. I guess the Red Dead being pushed back again.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Can we complain about that? Yeah. Oh, my God.
Yes, it is.
I forgot about that. Thank you.
I don't know how I forgot.
I didn't write it down on the list. That's why I forgot.
Yeah.
So Red Dead's been delayed.
So
again.
Sad, man. Just sad.
Did you not see it coming?
Not.
No, I mean...
Nah.
Yeah, I saw it coming. I was ready. Well, I wasn't ready, but I was ready. It's
I mean, they've set a precedent. Rockstar as a company have already set the precedent that they're going to just continue to push back their games for whatever reason. Just release it when you're ready. Release it when you're ready. Come on. What's so hard about that?
Yeah, it'll be out sometime,
You know it's going to be good regardless. So that's the good thing. I don't really care too much about delays and whatnot. It's going to be a good game.
Is it? That's the
Yes.
thing.
The single player will be fine.
Yeah, the single.
We can settle on that. I don't know what's online is going to
I
hold, though.
still need to play Red Dead Redemption.
Oh yeah, I mean, this was an off-stream topic, but I'll ask you anyway. I was thinking, what you need to do, bruh. Xbox One, go play through Red Dead Redemption, right? And then once you are done with the single player, I will buy a month of Xbox Live Gold, and I will give you a tour of what Red Dead Online used to be.
Right now,
right from a veteran that had 80 days in the game. I will give you a tour because it's completely broke. The online's completely broken, other than in private sessions. So, we'd have to do that. But
I was thinking of streaming it before Red Dead Redemption 2 arrives. Like, that seems to make sense to do it like that. But
plenty more time to do that.
Yeah, plenty of time.
I'm continually getting more and more time to do that as it keeps getting pushed back. But yeah, I mean, I've heard good things about it. I have to play it.
It's fantastic. Yes, go play it.
But I am hopeful that the second one is just as good. At least the single player. You know, we can say what we like about GTA Online's offerings, but the single player was still a very polished, great game. As much as we prefer us three at least prefer the older storylines and games, it was still a very, very good game. So hopefully they continue that with Red Dead Redemption. I don't want to see Rockstar just go the way of other gaming companies and, you know, EA and Ubisoft and all this nonsense, just pumping out crap for the sake of, you know, it's just, it would be a shame. It would be a big shame.
But do you guys think that could actually happen with Rockstar?
Oh yeah.
For the single player, not for the single player games, right?
100%.
Maybe it could. I could definitely see the single player taking a bit of a hit because of the focus on online parts of the game. Yeah, I could definitely see a single player. You know, we've seen it with GTA. We were going to have single player DLC, and then that got turned into the Doomsday Heist for online. But I imagine, I would say that the experience we would have had of that content in single player would have been much better than what we got online without all the, you know, the online features that we used to and hate with money and all that kind of stuff. So I think we've already seen it happen, that we haven't had a single player DLC that was promised because of online, and if that starts to seep into the main games as well, like Red Dead Redemption 2, because they focus too much on the online section, you know, it's possible. I hope not.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see. We can only speculate, I suppose. Those screenshots are pretty. Yeah, look nice. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, seems good.
Yeah. I mean,
do you think Red Dead 2 still? Do you think Red Dead 2 will have an impact on GTA Online's player base?
Red Dead Redemption 2. All right, let's be semantic about this.
I mean, somewhat initially, but I think the people who want to play GTA Online will come back to GTA Online, you know? Like, they'll go play Red Dead and like, I don't like cowboys, and then, you know, they're going back to their Chrome Adder or, you know, whatever people do these days in GTA Online. I think there will be an impact, but not as big as you would think.
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I mean, I'm still shocked that GTA Online has the player base that it does now. I mean, I still can't believe that it makes so much money all this time after the game has been released. So I can't see just another game like all these games that have been released as well, and GTA Online is still thriving. Even Red Dead Redemption 2, I can't see, you know, changing that for GTA.
And it's simply just more of a niche game. Cowboys and westerns.
Yeah.
It's much a smaller demographic than, you know, you're in, you know, fake LA with fake cars and you can shoot everybody, you know.
Yeah, but I think since Red Dead Redemption was such a critically acclaimed game, and not just critically acclaimed, people love it. I love it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's my favorite game of all time. Absolutely.
I think the sequel, which is actually a prequel, right, is going to be the prequel is going to be even sold a little bit more, higher earner than the previous game, and I think with the success of GTA 5 and how grand of a game that is, it made Rockstar an even bigger company than it already was. And we got new gamers coming up all the time. So this is like, we're in a low point as far as the quality or how companies are treating their customers. But we're in a golden age of games, I would say, kind of, in a way.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying with that.
I'm not saying they're the best games that have ever come out, but we're in an era where we're in the blockbuster era of games, where these are giant productions versus, you know, what they.
Yeah, and you can feel safe that these giant productions are going to be at least good. Yeah,
you're going to be entertained.
They might not be great, but they'll be good most of the time.
Yeah.
That was a video that I saw before where big game companies are making less games now. You know, the EA, Ubisoft, all these Activision, all these bigger game companies, they're not making anywhere near as many games as what they used to do 2, 3, 4 years ago, because they're putting all their eggs into big gaming franchises and monetizing the hell out of them. And that's the way that gaming is. So the games themselves are, you know, polished and are going, like you say, are going to at least give you some entertainment. Yeah, it's interesting to see how the gaming industry is going right now. With it's on a very finely balanced thing at the minute. You know, with Battlefront 2 was a big hit for the way that they wanted to do things, but they're not going to stop doing it that way. And it's just whether these single player experiences and these really quality games like we get from Rockstar are going to start to take a little bit of a backseat in the future because of this online and monetization aspect. It's interesting. It's going to be interesting at the very least to see how it goes. Yeah, Destiny 2 has flopped very hard, actually.
Has it?
Yeah, it's been wrought with problems since it came out, with just the developers taking the piss, basically, at every single stage and monetizing the hell out of it. And people are getting sick of it.
Yeah. It didn't seem like that kind of game, Destiny, that needed a sequel. Isn't it more like a free-roaming RPG kind of game?
No, it's not really free roam. Like, you go to these set, like, places, I think, is kind of the idea.
Well,
like,
I think that was one of the...
And then you go on this mission, and then you go on this mission that's in this different place, I think.
Just grinding.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's an MMO. It's like an MMO. It comes from those.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought it was. Like, yeah.
But then that was one of the main issues, that, like, one of the first problems that people had with Destiny 2 was that it felt like an upgrade to Destiny 1 rather than a fully fledged new game. And then since then, they've been taking things away from what you previously had in Destiny 1 and monetizing them in Destiny 2 and just monetizing every aspect of the second game. And it's the same with, you know, the loot boxes that you get in Forza Motorsport, that taking things from previous games that you used to just be able to access and switch on and putting them behind loot boxes. Need for Speed, Battlefront 2, you know, they're all doing it now, and people are eventually going to get sick. It's going to happen. The bubble is going to burst at some point. Hopefully, I'm hoping. But it's just we got to hope that they don't ruin these franchises in the meantime. I mean, Mass Effect. Look at Mass Effect. Such a hugely impressive franchise and game. And if it, you know, if a game like Mass Effect Andromeda can be released and almost single-handedly ruin that entire huge franchise, I don't see why it can't happen with what Rockstar are trying to do, and, you know, things like that. It can happen to anybody. But what a joke that game was.
Why was it that, though? Did it get rushed out or something near the end? Because I've always wondered. Like, there was some stuff wrong with the faces, with the facial animations and whatnot, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, there was stuff wrong with everything. I mean, the writing was terrible, the animation was terrible, the story was terrible. Like, just nothing. It was nothing about a Mass Effect. It just didn't feel like a Mass Effect game.
That game should not even have been made, I think. I don't think you can come... I don't think that you can ever match the attachment that a gamer will have to Shepard and his crew. I don't think...
Yeah, I agree.
In a game, I don't think that you can come close, and they just should not have tried. They should have just put them on some other project. Mass Effect series is done. The trilogy is over. Maybe we'll remaster Mass Effect 1, because even on PC, that game looks like trash these days because it's low-res textures. Yeah, that's what they should have done. Andromeda was just a mess. And
thing is, they did start doing what I thought would be the best way for that franchise to go, which is, I think EA specifically wanted them to do an MMO style, full RPG thing where you're in the Mass Effect universe, and you can, and all these different races and stuff like that. I thought that would work well, but by the team that were working on that game were like, we can't do this. We don't have the expertise for this. So like midway through the development, they changed over to doing Mass Effect Andromeda, and there was all sorts of issues during the development, and it was just, and then it got rushed out because EA is EA and they do what they do. But yeah, just a shame. And I agree. You're not going to have the same attachment for any future Mass Effect game than what you do for the first three. And I've begun to hate reboots of things or bringing things back. I still haven't finished Gears of War 4. I'm intending to, but again, the new characters of Gears of War just couldn't reel me in from the first trilogy. The same with Mass Effect. The new characters just, and the new storyline and all that stuff, it wasn't as good. And even the new Star Wars movies, honestly, I haven't been as reeled in as well. They're not as good as the old ones. They're not. They're all right, but they just feel like more like standalone movies or just another okay movie franchise, not as good as what Star Wars is known to be. And I feel like
debatable,
of course. That's just my opinion, but I'll probably trigger a lot of people with everything that I just said. But I just feel like they should just let these things lie. Just let that Mass Effect trilogy be a trilogy. Let the Gears of War trilogy be a trilogy. Just let these things. Let the Star Wars trilogy have been the Star Wars trilogy, not the prequels, not the sequels. Just let it be.
But
let things
that
be.
was his plan from the start.
But bro, sorry, game producer here. I'm just thinking, we've got all of this back IP that we've already created. We've already got a backstory for it. We don't have to pay to, create all this extra content.
Of course.
So why don't we just dip back in and just double dip on our customers for a bit?
Of course. That's how it is always. Obviously, of course, money but it's just, I don't know. And I'm not saying the new Star Wars movies are bad. They're good movies. They're just not. They don't feel like good. They're good movies. They're not good Star Wars movies to me.
Good is a strong word to say. I liked Force Awakens.
Wow.
I don't know.
Rogue One was good, right? Rogue One
was very good.
I really like Rogue One.
I don't mind things like that, like a side story to something. But when you continue the story later on and you bring back the old characters and you introduce new characters, then you kill off old characters and all that, you're just, I don't know, it's messing with it too much. Just let the story be the story. What?
Don't worry about it. Don't.
Anyway.
That's no problem.
I feel like I've ranted too much.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a rant, but it was needed. You needed to get that out.
Yeah, I guarantee you Star Wars is not on rant bingo, so stick that in your pipe.
Just remember, you'll never be better than Commander Shepard. Never.
Yeah, that's it.
Never be better.
That's it. All right, so should we now move on to our regular segment? So there's nothing else, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
We would have kicked ourselves if we'd messed up with the Red Dead Redemption stuff.
Yeah. I had to mention it, and I had to get triggered a little.
So as always, with these regular segments, if anybody has any questions for any of us, all four of us, one of us, all of us, each two of us, three of us, whatever, head on to Discord in the phone bank. For those who are watching this live, you can get in there, ask your question. MB Hammer, our producer, will be there taking your questions, and you come in here and ask away, and we shall answer to the best of our abilities. No writing questions this time. I'm sick of writing questions. You got to get on your mic and actually talk. That's what the whole point is.
Absolutely.
Apple Juice Minute's going to be after all of that's gone on. So let's do the
Closing
chokes
the
of
show.
the week.
With some fireworks.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
We're taking it right into the Choking Hazard podcast choke of the week, right?
We are doing the
so.
choke of the week. Let's do this.
Fantastic. I have not watched these chokes yet.
Me neither. Oh, God.
I haven't watched them either, so this will be
Our
interesting to
first
see.
reactions.
First reactions for all of us. Sonny, have you got the link for these, by the way? Have you found them in the choke chat and on Discord if you want to watch these yourself? All right, so let's start it off. We're on Duel. Oh, yeah, he's gone.
The Dominator race
Really?
car.
Dominator race car. He's gone from the lead
Oh,
into
wow.
second.
Yeah, that hasn't gone well.
This would have been the premium race as well, right? Because it was the premium race for a while. I'm
Most
assuming.
likely.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's doing duel just for fun.
Yeah, for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
No, that's fair. So that was a choke from him. Oh, we got some Project Cars 2 action. Monaco car park.
I believe I am behind you.
Oh no. Oh. Okay. That's
Oh, hey, it's that one track that doesn't facilitate racing because it's as wide as a single alleyway. Oh wow, look, someone has crashed in the entire
That's oh my god, this is just hilarious.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
And that one of them's
The one that
reversing
got out.
all the way around.
So the person that caused all of this is the person that submitted the choke, and it was him that crashed. and caused
Right,
all of that.
okay, it was his.
Pure
Okay.
AI.
Alright, Project Cars 2. Best chance to win a Project Cars 2 race so far. This looks like Willow Springs. I hate that track. Kart race.
Oh shit!
Last lap. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, is that the line? Oh, he was so close to the line. No way.
Oh, I haven't seen this yet.
Oh, he was so
Fine.
close to the line.
Oh no!
Oh,
Wow,
no.
that's
hell no.
awful. That's awful.
Yeah, that's not gone well. That has not gone well at all. All right,
Wow.
so everybody who's in the chat, click the straw poll link. Vote for your favorite choke. What you think it deserves to win the choke of the week. I don't know. I think I have my
mine.
favorite. I think I have my choice, which is my vote, but it's not necessarily my favorite clip.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it's definitely going to be my vote. But we'll wait until everybody else has voted, so we don't have to. We don't influence the votes.
Magic.
Interesting.
Oh, it's close.
Yeah. Oh, just so everybody knows, if anybody is wondering, you can submit your chokes if you have any crashes or things like that. The link for this is always in the description of the videos or the show notes on if you're listening to this. And yeah, for those who watch and want to have a way to listen, it is on iTunes. There is an RSS feed for the podcast for whatever podcasting source you listen through.
Yeah,
So
if
we've
you-
got all
if
of that.
you listen to this in your car, thank you.
Yeah,
on your
for
way
those
to
who
work,
listen on their way to work, yeah,
listening to
I'm on it.
103.2 Scum FM.
Or at work.
Or at work, yes.
Yeah, that's
or
all
at
in the
work.
description. But shout out to all of you guys who listen to us on iTunes. Give us a review on iTunes if you listen.
You're all so good looking, and I love you.
I'm sure. Yeah, maybe, I wonder if we've got anybody who listens on iTunes who's never watched the video format or never even watched anything.
I doubt it.
I seriously doubt it. Yeah. In fact, it's been a while since we've updated people. I had a look at the analytics of the audio version,
Oh
and the
yeah, let's do
statistics,
this.
and how many
Yeah.
We got a
listeners
couple
we
reviews.
get. It's been at least. Well, it's been. All right, let's have a look.
The
I don't
latest
want to
episode
cry
hasn't been
tonight.
updated.
Actually, it's not too bad. The latest 10 episodes. So the last episode, in its first week of release, that's 20.
mean
That's
the-
number
not the
21,
last
by the way, with Mikey. 22 hasn't gone up yet. That will be going up tomorrow, which is going to be a few days later after when people few days earlier when people actually watch this on YouTube.
I would not recommend watching it, by the way.
It was. I enjoyed last episode. It was just a bit of fun. But yeah, we with me moving house, obviously I haven't had a chance to upload it, but we're going to catch up. But yeah, the Doomsday Heist DLC Thoughts with Central Gaming Hub had 294 downloads in the first week.
Heyo.
Hey, that's not bad.
250 for the top 5 best and worst GTA DLCs. So it's increasing as well. It's showing an increasing trend. Our top 10 episodes, number 1 is the latest one, the Doomsday Heist DLC Thoughts, episode 21, with 597 downloads.
Whoa,
that's more than I was expecting, actually. The last time we looked at these figures, it was that we were on the hundreds of people listening.
Yeah.
We got a good 500, 600 people listening to the audio version. Cool. Give us these iTunes reviews.
Yeah, it really helps us out. It really helps us out.
Probably doesn't.
Like, upload us on iTunes. Give us a review because it really helps us out. Somehow, I don't know how, but it does.
Listener locations. United Kingdom is the highest with 30%. United States second, 25%. Japan is third, 10%.
Japan, huh?
Interesting.
Apple iOS podcast app is the most frequently used method. Over 50% of people using that. But anyway, if anybody is watching these and thinks, I want to listen to this on my way to work, screw this, I don't care about their faces. Links in the description of the YouTube video.
I don't care about my face, so...
How could he not care about Nas's face?
Alright, how are we doing on the votes?
We've got some results.
Is it specific? Like, are our votes going to make a difference or not?
Your votes aren't going to count now.
Okay, so let's give our thoughts before we hear the winners. My vote goes to Choke 3.
Yes.
The kart racing, with it being so close to the line. But my favourite clip is the second clip because it's just hilarious.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
What, you guys
Excellent.
agree? All right, that was easy.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
Yeah, I do.
That was nice and unanimous. Good.
Yeah.
So in third place, we've got Bloody Squirrels, who had some track limitation issues. That was choke number 1.
Okay.
In second place, we had some AI issues in Project Cars. That was by C. Wilson, who submitted that. Thank you very much, C. Wilson. And winner of choke of the week is choke number 3, the karting issues, and that was Benimi. Well done.
Good job, Benimi. Good job, Benimi. You are terrible. You are awful. You are horrendous.
Brutal, man.
You were
Benimi
right
is
there
one
at the
of
line. It was calling to you to get a win in Project Cars, and you just blew
Damn, you
it.
suck. Jesus.
Awful.
Stop.
Can't believe
Congratulations
that guy beat
on
me in
winning.
Tampa once.
I guess we're going to go into our community questions now then, since we
right.
don't have Apple Juice Minute until afterwards. So
Good job. I've not had time to screen them.
we're just going to have to wing it then, aren't we? We're just going to have to go for
We
it.
can talk about other stuff.
We can. Right, you guys stretch it for me. Go on, just.
Not this stretching.
Oh,
Just-
I know exactly what to do.
Of course.
If you want to catch Nasa stream, he streams Tuesday, Thursday.
No, well, you're right on 2 occasions. But the last episode, which you'll be watching tomorrow on YouTube, and this one will go up Monday, right? This one will just go up on the normal Monday?
Yes, this should go up on Monday. Yeah.
Anyway, if you have watched that one that was on Saturday, disregard everything I said there about me doing things in March. I moved that partnership push month up to February, and it has already started. The first day was yesterday, and the support was great.
There.
You know, yeah, RDT was there. He was there.
I was not there. I'm sorry.
You know, since 70 subs doesn't matter, and I cannot give them more emotes, we're going to try and get 75 average viewers. Usually, I get anywhere from 50 to 60, just me streaming. So, if even a couple of you guys are watching this, on YouTube, you're watching this now and think, hey, Nos isn't totally, awful. Maybe I'll support him. Yeah, he's not totally unbearable. Maybe I'll help him out.
I think you're going to struggle to find people who think that.
Yeah, I'm stretching. But anyway, your viewership really does count because it's such a small number to get to that level of 75 viewers. It's such a small gap that I have to make up. So if you want to come by, sit around, chat, enjoy the stream.
Even just leave it on in the background.
Yeah, leave it on in the best. Support small streamers. You know, hashtag support small streamers.
Although you got to do a trick on Twitch, because if you mute the stream via Twitch and then you go to a different tab, it will pause it and then it doesn't count as a view. So you have to go up to the tab in Chrome and right click and do mute tab, but leave it unmuted in Twitch player itself, and then that continues it to play. Stupid.
I just had it on my phone, just sitting next to me like this.
Sounds great. I mean, normally I would not advise to that, because I don't want people. If you're not watching my stream, don't have it open. But now I don't care. I just want to give my 70 subscribers, my 70 subscribers, the people who pay $5 or $10 a month, they deserve more than what I'm giving.
Who wouldn't want to stop by, support this man, the saucy Southern gentleman?
Saucy, huh?
Oh yeah.
And the thing is, like, the past couple of streams that I've done, in fact, the most infuriating thing is not the emotes, it's the quality options. I have not had quality options on my streams in a while, and I've been sitting there 60, 70, 80 viewers, no quality options. And there are several people that can't watch, and that alone, does not help, because someone will come into the stream, stream's buffering, because I have potato net, and then they'll leave, and that sucks. So that'd be another thing that Twitch partnership would help on. So if you want to give me some support, I'd really appreciate it. And after this month is done, you can never come back to my channel again. I don't care.
Donate some money. He'll read out your message in his Alabama accent.
No, I don't even want any money. I don't want money. I don't want subs. All I want
just viewers. That's all it needs.
That's all.
We talked about this. If anyone wants to know why, we did talk about this on the last episode.
Because I have too much stuff. I have too much stuff now. Look at this room. There's too much stuff. My life is too nice. I don't need any more money. I just need your viewership. So, if you want to support me, there you go. There's the self promotion. So, thank you. I'd appreciate it.
Andy T, have you been doing any more streaming since we last spoke?
I think I'm gonna do it today, but that's about it.
No.
Today being Friday, and then I think after this, I'm gonna go grab a 6-pack and play some Fortnite or something, and get
your stream on.
A little bit sloppy and get my stream on.
Yeah. Sonny, do you stream on YouTube, right?
Every now and then, but I'm thinking about moving over to Twitch actually.
I'd highly recommend it. With your YouTube channel, like you would probably be in GTA Man's situation. You could probably get partnered pretty easy. You get a reasonable amount of viewers, and you have your YouTube channel to back you up as well. So it probably wouldn't be any struggle for you to get partnered. And that would allow you emotes and subscribers, getting what they deserve and whatnot. So,
yeah, I put myself in a weird position though with the sponsors I have currently. Right, I got a pretty large sponsor base now on YouTube.
That is true.
Which is really awkward. Which is really awkward. Like I think I'm able to instantly stop that, so that's a good thing. So I don't take their money for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to do that, of course.
So.
I just do both.
I had so in the background, and I was thinking, did someone just...
When do you stream? I don't think I said my schedule, by the way.
That's probably important.
Yeah. I guess I just assume everyone knows. But it's Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. During the month of February, it will be all on schedule streams. There will be no off schedule streams because those get less viewers. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, 7 p.m. UTC. That's 2 p.m. Eastern. You can convert that yourself. You can also go to my channel and !Feb or !Feb schedule, and that'll bring up the schedule for the whole month and what we're doing. So there you go.
That's too much effort.
Yeah, that's way too much effort. I'm sorry. Anyway.
So I streamed a little bit, and if you want to witness my choke of this week, I've popped a clip in there. You might want to turn the sound down a little bit. It's me getting scared out of my skin in VR, no less.
I do remember seeing this.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a gander.
Let me.
Yeah, we gotta watch Hammer.
Is this just self-promotion hour or something? Is this what this podcast has turned into?
Sonny's next.
I wasn't listening to it, but that does look frightening.
Ah, fucking hell! Christ on a bike. We're doing that, are we? We're doing the whole jump scares that quick?
Oh, by the way, Hammer, do you have any
sideways.
aspirations of playing LA Noire in VR? Have you done that yet?
What was that?
Oh,
No. I didn't like the original, so
I've seen
it's
some
so-
hilarious
yes,
videos.
the autistically playing LA Noire videos. Yeah.
They would have to do something very, very special to make that game even remotely interesting. But yeah, yeah, that was me getting scared. That was my choke of the week.
Good job.
Yes. So we've only got one question in the phone bank this week.
But the person is very important. He is a very important man. I can see.
A VIP, some might say.
VIP.
Hello, caller. You're on the Choking Hazard podcast. Who's your question for? What's your question? You didn't introduce him, and I've jumped the gun, and I'm bad. But who is our caller first?
It's Insomniac. Hello,
Insomniac, our god. If I have any subs, please give praise.
We have descended. We have descended into the part of every week's podcast where we just it takes all professionalism has gone out the window.
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah. But Insomniac is a god, and please, you need to praise him because he is a god.
Explain why Insomniac is so important.
He is the You can say hi, by the way, if you'd like.
Hello, long-time listener.
First-time caller. Anyway, Insomniac is the lead developer for the 5M server that we've talked about in previous episodes, and he has made the entirety of the racing script that we have, which is fantastic. So he is a god of coding and a god among men, and I worship the ground he walks.
That I will be partaking in this month, so we'll see some 5M racing showcases and stuff that will come to YouTube as well, I'm sure. Anyway. What is your question? What is the reason that you're actually here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a question about Twitch and streaming in general, really.
Okay.
Because I see it as a kind of a something you do by yourself, generally at the moment when you're viewing. Kind of a solitary thing.
As a viewer, you mean?
As a viewer, yeah.
Yeah.
And I wondered if you ever saw it. Turning into more of a TV-like experience, where people would sit down as a family instead of watching the soap at 7 o'clock. They'd tune into Bruff or something.
I can't imagine anybody who would want to watch soaps at 7 o'clock would decide to watch me. It's an interesting question, actually. I don't know. I need to think about this. Somebody else answer.
With some streams, I think it's already like that. Like, there's some streams out there that are particularly more family friendly. They're more like accessible content. Like, take some of the actual talented people in the IRL section, that are doing like actual talented people things like art and music. I could see those types of streams going in that direction, and it's we're going to watch this person play, on keyboard tonight, like they're playing music or they're drawing this or whatever. But as for like the typical one dude staring at a monitor for 4 hours playing a video game, I think that's decently far off. And Joshy Moose is here. Shout out to Joshy Moose. Yes, fantastic man. Love your content. But he says he watched stuff with his girlfriend. I think that's a bit different than what Insomniac is kind of alluding to. Like when you have a girlfriend who is like an equal and shares similar and same interests with you, that's a lot easier to do than say like me watching a stream with my mother or something.
What are you, a feminist now? Just trying to say that women are equal? What is this?
No, I'd never say that. I'm a Southern man. I would never say anything like that. But
equal.
What do you think, Sonny?
Yeah.
What about Dr. Disrespect? As a streamer, as a person, that's someone I can see a lot of people flock. Right? I can see people like coming together and watch his streams. I do it all the time with friends of mine, to be fair. Whenever he's
if
live,
you're like a character, sure, absolutely.
Yeah. That's the only insight I can think of.
I think it's interesting because does anybody sit around the TV as a family anymore and watch stuff?
Now,
is that something that happens?
No, yeah.
Like, even for TV?
I watch television with my mother still. I mean, what we do every night.
But it seems like a lot of
If it's something big like Game of Thrones, that gets everyone together.
okay, yeah, like the big blockbuster type things, yeah, I guess. But
I think the appeal of the streamer is that you're like this person who's streaming the game is the person that you're watching this or having this experience with. So it's more of a connection with the chat and the streamer himself.
Yeah.
And I can only see it as this solitary thing, like you said, because the game is the point, and you're watching this personality that you like play the game, play through it, and experience the story. Like, let's say the game is a movie, you watch the movie with your buddy, but instead your buddy is playing the movie. I don't know. That probably sounds crazy, but that's the way I see it.
Yeah, I think every stream is different. So a lot of streams, my streams, for example, are very much based on the chat and interacting.
Yeah, personal interaction. And I ask you a question and you answer my question because I matter.
Like I can't see my streams being put on the TV for just entertainment purposes. Maybe for some people who if you've got a group of friends who all watch my streams individually and then they just happen to be together, then fair enough. But in general, I can't see that happening. I could see that happening more for YouTube videos, like YouTube becoming more of a thing where you load up a video from your favorite creator who the whole family likes, and you load up a video or a few videos or just whatever they did that day. But streams are a little bit different, I feel, because they're so long, or they can be so long. They're normally very long. You're not always doing something. It's sometimes you're just sitting back and talking to the chat, waiting for things to load, things like that. So in general, I don't see that being the thing for a majority of stuff, but I could see it more so than anything else breaking through in that way for possibly esports in the future. Obviously, quite a way into the future, maybe when it becomes more of an accepted thing or games get even bigger in that realm. But sports in general now, when you look at football and all these kinds of things, it gets people together to watch. Maybe esports can get into that same realm where everyone will start pulling together to watch something, and that will be kind of like what you see on streams now, but just televised. I'm not sure whether streams as a medium, for the most part, videos yes, but not streams. Personally, I don't think that would happen. But yeah, that's something that I was going to mention. Super Bowl, by the way, we'll mention that before we finished here. But yeah, it's interesting. It was an interesting question, Insomniac. Actually,
yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah.
Thank you for asking.
No, well, I'm glad you enjoyed our answers because there are no refunds. So.
Anybody else, Mr. Hammer?
There's nobody else, I'm afraid. Nobody else.
Nobody else. All right, so we'll segue into what I was saying with sports and stuff into the Super Bowl.
Transition. It's almost like we're a pro show here.
Don't get too
know what we're doing.
And RDT,
What?
you're pretty excited about the Super Bowl, right?
Well, that's kind of. I'm not trying to spoil the appetite.
All right, okay, I see where this is going. All right, so
I think it's worth saying. I don't know if you guys want to reveal it now or whatever, but we've got Joshimus in the chat, and he is going to be our next guest. So everybody get your
next
episode.
Excited.
Oh, cool!
His content is so good. So,
for the wonderful world of speedrunning.
Yes.
So get your questions ready.
Yeah, that'll be
there.
Fun.
He is. Hello.
and thank you, Sonny. You've been a great guest to have on. I've learned a lot.
Even though we haven't asked you a question the past 20 minutes, thanks for being here.
Segments. What are we supposed to do?
Yeah, it's regular segments. Cool. No, thank you so much for having me. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's been really good to get chatting with you again, and for the I wish you the best for the continued success for the channel as well. Hopefully you continue the growth, and I'm curious to see what you do now that we know that there's more GTA Geographic series videos coming, and we know that you're trying to struggle for ideas. I'm curious how you're going to take it, because you have a very creative mind, so I'm sure you'll come up with something good.
I'm gonna make it work. There's something, by the way, there's something on the way still for that entire thing, and that might be the fall of my entire YouTube channel. But hey, I'm gonna go for it. It's gonna be Pub Geographic. So
Pub Geographic. Okay, so nice.
There's quite a cool like editor in the game, so I'm gonna try and then make something work with that.
Interesting. Really, maybe you just need to change our channel name to Gaming Geographic and just have this series for different games.
Yeah, or make a brand new channel. Nah, I'm not going to do that. But
and if you do that and it becomes incredibly successful and you get millions of subscribers, just remember who gave you the idea. We go way back. No, thanks for coming on, man. It's been fun.
Yeah,
and you've been a great guest.
Excited to see your future content.
Yeah, absolutely. Check him out down below in the description for those who are watching this as a video or listening to it. It'll be in the show notes as well. And those who are watching live, his links always being put in the chat all the way through. But to end the stream, we have RDT with his apple juice minute. I don't know why he wanted to do it at the end like this, but let's just sit back and see what he's got for us. And now he's okay. Okay? Of course, of course, his team.
Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's Super Bowl weekend. Not when you're watching this on YouTube, but while you're watching it right now. And the Philadelphia Eagles are in the big game. As a fan, I've waited 13 years to see them in this situation again. And it could not be more perfect. Through the doubters, the underdog status, all of the people that criticized us for being, it's the NFC East, it's Philadelphia Eagles, they're not going to do anything. They're one and done in the playoffs. Loss of a starting running back, starting middle linebacker, starting left tackle, loss of a second string middle linebacker, special team specialist. We're missing a starting D-back for a number of weeks, and the blow that took us out of everybody's Super Bowl predictions, our MVP candidate, Carson Wentz. Ginger Jesus himself. What's up? Everyone said, Carson, you can't lose an MVP candidate quarterback and continue to have success. Well, guess who came in? Jolly old St. Nicholas Foles comes in and thrashes the #1 defense Minnesota Vikings. This underdog story has just lifted the entire spirit of Philadelphia. And no better person to face off against than the evil empire. Old Tommy Terrific, Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback of all time, as some people might call him. And we're going to go in there as underdogs. And I know this isn't a traditional apple juice minute. We're going in there as underdogs. And for those of you that are familiar with the commercials, they'll say Bud Light, Dilly Dilly. Well, this freaking weekend, we're going to say Bud Light, Philly, Philly.
Oh my
God. Here I'm high. And watch our Eagles fly. Eagles fly. The road to victory. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! Enjoy the Super Bowl, everybody. The only reason I did this is because I didn't jinx them last time.
So we're gonna see. Everyone who's already watching this will know the result already because it will go up after the Super Bowl is done. But put in the chat, put in the comments, Eagles. That's what you got to put in the comments, and then we can put any comment around that based on maybe what happens. But so we know you got to the end, put Eagles in the comments on the YouTube video.
Even if they didn't win, man.
Ruff,
even
Ruff, you need to put you need to put your apple juice cans in the chat. I mean, you might as well put them to use. Come on.
Hey, you got them now.
Do I still have them?
I would imagine so.
Of course you do.
Oh wait, this is not the end of the. Oh, there we go. Yes, the apple juice minute. There it is.
Bravo.
There we go.
good luck. I'm going to say good luck to you, RDT, for your team.
I'm an Eagles fan. I've been instructed that I can't even ironically be a Patriots fan, but I'm an Eagles fan.
Yeah. Everyone likes the underdog. I'm going to hope.
It's Rocky Balboa versus Ivan Drago.
Yeah, we'll know by the next podcast. I'm sure we'll talk about it at great length.
Yeah, I might not be here if they lose.
Okay, fair enough.
Wow, whoa.
All right, guys.
Stay safe, RDT.
I'll be in prison.
Oh, okay.
Sonny, thanks for coming on this week. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you.
We'll see you all in 2 weeks' time. Do you want to say goodbye, guys?
Bye, guys.
See you later, everybody. Bye-bye.